I was wearing them real bad.
Get Rory to get, or James to get the ads thing in, so he may jump on that machine and just give it a start. What the fuck did I just do? Oh. Are you switching?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we have commentary in?
A very good morning to you and welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. My name is Brian Gray and we're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton, Alberta. These are the opening round games of the competition. We have a 20-team tournament, 4 pools of 5 teams for a total purse of $25,000. And this morning on Sheet 2, we have the game between Kerri Einarson from Gimli, Manitoba, against Gracelyn Richards, the local team from Edmonton, Alberta. These are the opening round games of the competition. And as we can see, Einarson is playing with Red Rocks in this first end, and Richardson is playing with yellow. Richardson, excuse me. We're just fine-tuning a couple of things, so just bear with us, please. Just fine-tuning things here in Alberta, in Edmonton, so just give us one moment. We're following the Einarson-Richards game on sheet 2. This is the opening game of the 2024 Saville Shootout. As we see Team Einarson playing Red Rocks in this first end. And there we see Skip off the local Alberta team. This is Gracelyn Richards in the house, giving ice to her third player. Looking to run this guard onto the stone in the 8-foot. Almost perfect, just didn't quite manage to get the guard out of the house, but a reasonable attempt in this first end. So now with Hammer, Team Kerri Einarson drawing to the open side with the, it looks like pretty good T-weight, splitting the rings. And that's the first stone of the first end for Skip Gracelyn Richards, managing to pick off the red stone of Team Einarson. So Kerri will just split the rings again, come to the right side of the rings as we look, and set up her juice. So if you just joined us, welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. In the commentary box is Brian Gray, and we're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton. And these are the opening round games of the competition. And this morning's game features Kerri Einarson from Gimli in Manitoba against Gracelyn Richards of Edmonton, Alberta. As we see Kerri Einarson split the rings, drawing to the edge of the 8-foot to lie 2 points, and now Gracelyn Richards will attempt to remove this red stone. We're just having one or two teething problems, so just please bear with us this morning. Once again, Gracelyn's stone just over curling a little bit. Main objective achieved. She managed to remove that Einarson counter, but she has slipped out of shot position. And this leaves Kerri Einarson in this first end with an open draw for 2. So last stone first end, Kerri Einarson with what looks a very straightforward draw to the 8-foot circle. And Team Einarson will pick up 2 points in this first end and go into a 2-0 lead.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss. But it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy. Welcome back to Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton.
This is the opening round of games at the 2024 Saville Shootout, presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. Our featured game is Kerri Einarson against Gracelyn Richards. Team Kerri Einarson picked up a 2 in the first end and are playing Red Rocks. If you've just joined us, welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium in Edmonton. We're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton, Alberta. These are the opening games of the competition. We are having some technical difficulties, so please just bear with us. Our featured game this morning is Kerri Einarson of Manitoba against Gracelyn Richards of Alberta. We're in the second end and Einarson picked up 2 in the first. We are aware of some technical difficulties with freezing images. Please just bear with us as we try to correct these problems. As we see third player for Team Einarson, Val Sweeting, about to play her first stone of the second end. Looking to play a little tap on the yellow, but has just gone by, giving Team Richards immediately a chance to hit back with 2 points of their own. These are the opening games of the 2024 Saville Shootout, presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. Please just bear with us as we try to resolve a number of technical issues, most noticeably frozen video. As we see Val Sweeting deliver her second stone in this second end, number 3 for Team Einarson. Team Richards lying 2 rocks partially hidden behind this yellow corner guard. And this time Val has made contact, but the yellow stone has hung around in the 8 foot. And now a real opportunity for Team Richards to remove this red stone out of the 4 foot circle and possibly lie 3 stones behind a corner guard, which with hammer in the second end would be an excellent situation for them. Team Richards' third player trying to remove the red from the edge of the button. Unfortunately has just caught the centre guard, but is lying 2 or 3 yellows behind that corner yellow guard. So there's certainly some opportunities with 4 stones to come. So Kerri Einarson just lining up this double on the right hand side of the rings, trying to remove 2 yellows and possibly lie second or third shot. Once again, just please bear with us, we are having some sound and video problems this morning. It's the first games here from the 2024 Saville Shootout, live from the Saville Community Sports Centre here in Edmonton. As we see Kerri Einarson with her first stone of the second end, attempting a double removal on these two yellows at the far right of the screen. She's managed to pick one of them out, but yellow is lying third shot, so if Gracelyn Richards could pick out this double on the two reds here, she'll be lying at least two. Needs to find a way to remove these two reds without moving towards the other yellow counter and leaving an easier double, so probably just wants to hit the right hand stone just off center. On the left side, pick off the double and pretty much just leave her counter on the button, but there will be a double back the way. So Gracelyn Richards with her first stone in the second end, looking to remove these two red counters. Very unfortunate, I would say. Hit the left-hand red first, meaning that the yellow shooter was always going to go to the right, and unfortunately it hasn't got hidden behind any of these corner guards. It set up a relatively easy double takeout for Kerri Einarson. Kerri Einarson with her last stone of the second end, looking to double these two yellow counters. Would really like to hang around as well to avoid giving two away. And that's a perfect result from Kerri. She's just rolled nicely behind the yellow corner guard, meaning that two is going to be extremely difficult from here. Gracelyn Richards just a little bit unfortunate with her first one, and now I think she has to just concentrate on making a nice 8-foot draw and taking her 1 point. But she had chances in this end for sure. So Gracelyn Richards, last stone of the second end. Draw to the 8-foot to make sure of her 1 point. Needs to be full 8-foot. Has just come up short, so Team Einarson, after all that drama, will steal one in the second end and now lead by 3 points to 0.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome back to the 2024 Saville Shootout, presented by Curling Stadium in Edmonton. We're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton. This is the third end of the game between Kerri Einarson and Gracelyn Richards. We are having a number of problems with this stream, but we're working on fixing. Please just bear with us. We are in the third end, and Team Einarson is leading 3 points to 0. Team Richards had a really good chance of 2, possibly even 3 in that second end, but a little bit of bad luck on her first stone from Gracelyn meant that she could only get 1, and then she missed her draw for 1, unfortunately, and that's given Einarson a 3-point lead as we start this third end. Big differences in the level of experience between these two teams. Einarson, of course, is a 4-time Canadian champion, and Team Richards, younger team from Edmonton, finishing second in last weekend's under-25 event. And these two teams played each other last year in the first round of this event, where Einarson came out 9-5 winners in that game. So Team Richards already trying to play a little bit of a tap back game, losing by 3 against Team Einarson. They're looking to move a few rocks back and give themselves chances of 2 or 3 that way. As we see Shannon Burchard being asked to remove the yellow at the top of the 12-foot. Which she does very nicely to lie 3 points. So an uphill struggle now for Team Richardson, lying 3 against in this third end. Feels she has to play aggressively and is going to try and draw into this 4-foot area, try and either push back the red stone from Team Einarson. Aggressive play, but can play dividends. Just going to overcurl a little bit on her. Was looking to tap the stone at the top of the 4-foot, maybe tap it back. Unfortunately, just caught the stone at the top of the 8-foot and now has rolled open. So this game getting very complicated very quickly for Team Richard. So now Team Richard's trying once more to move this red, maybe move it back or freeze onto it, and then using the other reds in the rings to try and catch the yellow stone. So it's an aggressive strategy. So Team Richards just came out a little bit short, and now I think we'll see Kerri Einarson switch to a more aggressive strategy. She is, after all, lying 4, and she's going to use that yellow and put up another centre guard and put a little bit of pressure on this young Richards team in the third end. Looks like we're up and running with the video, so if you've just joined us, welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium in Edmonton. My name is Brian Gray, and we are live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton, Alberta. These are the opening round games of the competition. It's a competition with 4 pools of 5 teams, and our feature game this morning is Kerri Einarson of Gimli in Manitoba against Gracelyn Richards, the local team from Edmonton, Alberta. Einarson is leading 3-0, as you can see on the scoreboard at the back. And Team Richards trying to play catch-up. Gracelyn rightly looking at removing a couple of red stones. She has to get some of these reds off the centre line, give herself some space to make sure she at least gets 1 point of this end. So looking at the double, to make some space. And that's a nice result. Another yellow in the rings is going to be possibly useful if they can remove some red rocks. And now Kerri discussing whether to continue to play aggressively or perhaps just remove some of the yellows. And the decision is made. Val Sweeting here being asked to draw another one in into the 4-foot. Put some pressure on this young team. Saville Sweeting with her second stone of this third end. Looking to come down, just come around the back of this yellow and finish top 4-foot. Doesn't want to go too deep. Pretty much perfectly played, I would say. So skip Gracelyn Richard, just seeing that there is a chance of a double takeout there. Hitting the red on the centre line, back against the red at the back of the 4-foot on the left as we look. Rolling over somewhere in front of the other red. Opting instead to run back. Her own stone at the top of the 12-foot. Lots of options here. And that's a beautiful result. Not shot position, unfortunately, but at least cutting down 3 reds. Giving her skip a chance in this end to at least score 1 point. It's only the third end, so 3-1 down wouldn't be the end of the world. Needs to stay in this game, Team Richards. Einarson, meanwhile, wondering where she can put this red in the 4-foot circle to cause as much trouble as possible for her opponent. Top of the button would be useful, I think. So please bear with us. Looks like we've got both cameras working correctly. Still waiting for sound from the curling hall. as we see Kerri Einarson playing her first stone in this third end, looking to come down, trying to get possibly half behind the yellow guard at the top of the 12-foot circle, giving her a real chance to possibly steal another point in this end. Looks to have a lot of space at the moment. And just choosing to play a blocking stone, which is perfect. Wasn't trying to come in, I think, after all, just trying to make the draw to the 4-foot as hard as possible for her opponent, Gracelyn. So now Gracelyn Richards with her first stone of this third end. Can she manufacture a 2 from here? First things first, she needs to make sure she scores 1. So Gracelyn Richards with her first stone of this third end. Trying to get into shot position somewhere in that 4-foot circle. To give her at least a small chance of a 2. And they're on it early. It looks like they're trying to use this red to roll over to the left and get a bite of the 4-foot circle. Seems to be pretty close, and they've overswept it, unfortunately. So Kerri Einarson still lying 1 point, thanks to that red at the back of the 4-foot. But things might get a little bit tougher here for Gracelyn when Kerri removes that yellow and possibly rolls into the button area. So Kerri Einarson with her last stone of this third end, looking to remove this yellow and roll behind cover. And she's just rolled out of second stone position, so it takes the pressure off Gracelyn Richards a little bit, but she needs to find the 4-foot here, otherwise she'll drop to 4-0 down. Looking at running this yellow on yellow. Tough call. I would suggest that she needs to just go for the straight draw, but she's looking at other options right now. If she's going to get back in this game, she's going to need her 4-foot weight, so might be an option just to draw the edge of the 4-foot and try and take her 1 that way, but she is looking at coming off this yellow. A few options here, but having a look at this, there is a small chance of 2 points this way, of course. Which would certainly bring her back into this game. And she does have options. She could rub off her own stone and get 1 point that way. But it looks like she's trying to hit about a third of that yellow on the left as we look. Roll over either for a single point or more likely from the weight she's playing. Great shot from the skipper. Picks up 1 to trail Team Kerri Einarson by 3 points to 1 after 3 ends.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's ice pad has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best brew in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Welcome back to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. Team Kerri Einarson and her team from Gimli, Manitoba are in control of this game. They're 3-1 up with hammer after 3 ends. They're a very nice single from Team Richards in the 3rd end to stay in this game. And we are playing, of course, the 5-rock no-tick rule, which the players have just realized, and that's why that stone from Team Einarson's lead player, Kristen Kawaki, is going to be taken off because it breaches that rule. So that rule certainly giving Team Richards a helping hand here. That guard cannot be touched until later in the end. As we see lead player Amy Wheatcroft of Team Richards looking now to build on that very nicely placed centre guard. Would like to put another one on the centre line, just over the hog line here, and give her team some real cover, and of course wants to touch the centre line because we're playing the no tick. So that's a really nice end from the Richards lead player. Team Richards now looking in a bit better shape in this fourth end. Team Einarson opting to come round these two centre guards. Very nicely played. Doesn't need to be fully hidden. Einarson leading by 3-1, so a good chance she's going to rip those guards off at the earliest opportunity. So second player, Sofia Rorchuk, looking to tap this red back. Would like to get a little bit on the inside if she can. Very nicely done. And now the 5 rock rule is over. As we would expect, Team Einarson is going to start ripping off these centre guards. Nicely done. Team Richards will just keep replacing the centre guard, but at some point they're going to have to reshuffle the stones in the rings because Team Einarson is lying short at the moment. But first things first, they're just going to replace this long centre guard to keep play well away from the rings. Looks to have a very nice line. Perfectly played by Emma. Val's just going to try and remove the centre guard. Doesn't really want to hang around anywhere. Safely done. And that's a nice little bonus, almost pushing that red into the rings. Very nicely played. Third player of Team Richards, Emma, just keeping that center line covered. Not much for Kerri to call than to remove this yellow guard, roll away to the side, and at some point Team Richards is going to have to attack that yellow-red pair in the rings. Looking to go in the rings now. Might be an idea just to throw one more centre guard. If she comes into the rings now, Val Sweeting's going to have a good blast at that front yellow and could feasibly remove everything. So this might be a little bit early. If she could get something like back of the button, like a quarter behind the red, that would make things much harder for Team Einarson to clear up. Indicating she wants top of the 4 foot, but I think probably deeper would be better here. Once again, just over curled a hair. It's happened a couple of times. Not a bad result. Unfortunately, there is a double there, yellow-yellow. Unfortunately, from Team Richards' perspective. If Val Sweeting can just hit 3/4 on the right side as we look, pick the 2 yellows out. Being asked to play a controlled weight. Well, she made contact with both yellows, Val. But that one hanging around the back of the 4 foot is not ideal. That yellow, so bit of a half shot. And if Gracelyn could ever somehow glue to this red stone on an angle freeze, she would even have a chance to lie more than one later in the end. Could either angle freeze the red or try and just get past the red and lie shot. Give herself a little chance of a steal. She's down 2 without, so she needs a steal at some point probably. So first stone for the young Edmonton skip. in this fourth end. I believe she would like to just come quarter of a rock behind this red. Well, she's got shot out of it, which is helpful. So Kerri Einarson with her first stone is just going to try and pick this yellow out. Probably would like to roll away. Roll to somewhere where Val's brush is right now would be a really nice result. Keep the back of the 4 foot clear. Doesn't really want to nose this. Perfect result, lying second stone, far away from the 4 foot. Now the pressure's on this young team. Are they going to try and play the double, or are they going to try and draw for a possible steal? They were looking at the double, but it's really difficult. I think it's more important right now to get one on the 4 foot somehow. Normally this call would be okay, but 3-1 down, she's effectively giving Einarson a 2 if she's looking to hit that red. So it might be, it's the right idea, but maybe not the right moment for that. Does look like she's hitting this red. Well, she did what she wanted to do. Unfortunately, it's going to be a relatively easy 2 for Kerri Einarson's team. Unfortunately, from the perspective, I mean, of Team Richards. And at 3-1 down, another 2 is going to make things just that little bit harder. Understand the call from Gracelyn. But they're going to have to work real hard in the second half of this game to try and come back, assuming Kerri makes this 8 foot draw. Very nicely done from Kerri Einarson. So she storms into a 5-1 lead at the 4th end break.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Gripper first.
Don't forget your brooms.
Yep, you got it. Yellow.
Come on up. Well, what do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.
So a very good morning to you if you've just joined us. Welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. My name is Brian Gray and we're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton, Alberta. This is the opening round of games of the competition, 4 pools of 5 with a total purse of $25,000. And in our feature game, Kerri Einarson and her team from Gimli in Manitoba are leading Gracelyn Richards and her team from Edmonton, Alberta by 5 points to 1 after 4. So Team Richards with it all to do in the second half. We do apologise for the ongoing technical issues. We're getting them ironed out one after the other. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of sound from the arena in the second half so we can hear the players a little bit. As we see Kerri put down the brush to start this fifth end. Team Einarson playing with 3 players this morning. As Kristen releases the first stone off this fifth end. She and her team have a comfortable lead over this younger local team from Edmonton. Very nicely draws the opening stone of the end into the 1 foot circle. And now we'll be looking for Team Richards to go on the offence. A couple of corner guards and see if they can manufacture a 2 in this end to get back in this game. As Amy Wheatcroft starts this fifth end for her team with a good looking corner guard. Kristen Karwacki with her second stone. She's going to be playing 3 stones this end. At 5-1 up, they don't really want to throw too many stones in the rings, but it's too early to throw them through, so she's trying to come half round this corner guard, just show half of this red stone. Not bad at all. Good result. But it's giving Team Richards some granite to play with. And right now at 5-1 down, any granite is helping you. So playing a controlled weight tap on this red, which is hidden by the corner guard. It's going to be really close to that guard, unfortunately. Just a little bit short, I think. Wants to get that away from the center line area. So again, just over curling a little bit. This team have tended to over curl in these first 4.5 ends. And once again, Team Einarson on the offensive. With the 5-rot rule, of course, they're not allowed to remove anything, so they're going to play another stone into the probably the top of the 8-foot circle, I would imagine. As we see Kristen Karwacki playing her 3rd stone of this end. Just going to touch that corner guard, which is allowed. I'm not allowed to touch the center guard, but the corner guard's okay. And finishing on the center line there. So Team Richards now have a chance. They need to move these reds back. Get them out of the 4-foot circle. At some point try and open the 4-foot circle. And then with that yellow at the side and that corner guard, plenty of opportunities to try and make a 2. As we see the second player, Sofia Royerchuk, I'm sorry if I've pronounced that wrong, looking to come in and just move this red on the button, I think, back a little bit. Pretty good result though. Kerri Einarson just discussing with her team how to get that yellow out of there. There's a fair chance that the red at the back left is going to go 2, but that's not a big deal. What you wouldn't want to do is drive it straight back. So Val just coming down to have a look at the situation here. Saville Sweeting, first of her 3 stones in this 5th end. Looking to eliminate this yellow counter. Playing a nice controlled weight, just looking to over curl this yellow about half, and looks like it's going to curl too far. Well, as I mentioned earlier, Team Richards are going to have to open up the center, open up the 4-foot circle at some point. And actually Val's just done that a little bit for them, so now they can get at this red stone on the button. So plenty of opportunities for Team Richards in this 5th end to get back in this game. I'm reliably told that you have sound from the arena, so good to hear that. So Gracelyn just asking Sophia to thread one through here, I think. Try to get to the red at the back of the button, which she's done really nicely. Little roll to the left would be nice, yeah. That's a really good result. That's the best situation they've been in for a while. There is a double there though, but still plenty of options to get 2 back in this end for Team Richards, even if this double is made. Saville Sweeting with her second of 3 rocks. Looks to be perfect, and it is. But now, at least from the perspective of Team Richards, the 4-foot area is open, so it gives them a little bit more space to try and create their 2. Probably that red at the front of the 8-foot needs to go at some point as well. But they're just ignoring it for now, and they're going to come through and try and sit probably top of the 8-foot circle behind the guard. Doesn't need to be 4, but it needs to be shot. Grape Rush. Just come up short, so red's still in shot position. But the red is wide open, so there's a chance they can remove that to lie 2 that way. So Val Sweeting with her 3rd stone of this end, looking to come in pretty much top of the button. Bit of a key shot here. If she doesn't hide, then the probability of scoring more than 1 does increase for Team Richards. And she's dropped this a little bit short. And now, as I mentioned before, they can make up for that error from the last yellow stone by just removing that red to lie 2. She's not doing it yet, but maybe her team's going to convince her otherwise. Also a good call, top of the button, fully hidden. As third player, Emma Yarmuch asked to place this one just in front of the tee line, fully hidden behind all those guards. Looks to be really nice. Great result. She might regret not moving that red stone. If Kerri Einarson can come down and just freeze the yellow and basically give them 1 point, she'll be quite happy because she's winning by 5-1 right now. So if she can force Team Richards just to the 1 point, she'll be very happy with that result. But it has to be made, and if she rubs off any of those rocks and rolls open, she could be in quite deep trouble. So that's the best situation for Team Richards so far in this game. Lying first and third with hammer. So now it's the moment for Kerri to step up and play one of those killer draws that she's so good at. Looking a hair heavy. Plan B is to tap that red, but that wasn't the original plan. The weight was actually pretty good, but just a little bit too much ice. And now I really feel Team Richards have to remove that red in the 8-foot. Remove the red in the 8-foot, if possible, roll in towards the yellow on the button. And then they've got a good chance of making more than a point. Don't think the red at the top of the 8-foot, I don't think removing that really helps them. They need to get a second shot in and put some pressure on their opponent. So hitting the red, the left red as we look, beside the brush of the third player, but they appear to be removing the red at the top of the 8-foot. Good, now she's going for well, I'm not sure. I think she's still going for the stone at the top of the 8-foot. I would recommend the other one. But this can work too. The disadvantage of this stone is, first of all, you're only going to be lying 1 after it. And secondly, you could remove your own stone from the button if it happens to hang a little bit. So it's not wrong, but it's giving her perhaps less options than removing the other one would. Nice result. Well played, skipper. Clearly, Kerri Einarson has to find the 4-foot here and just basically give 1 point. Interesting that she's going on that side. But if she would play down the left side and leave it near to the red, there would be a possible double. So Team Richards only lying 1 point, but a little bit of pressure for Kerri here. Knows that if she doesn't get 4-foot, she could be losing 4. If she doesn't get 8-foot, I'm sorry. If she misses the 8-foot here for any reason, she could be losing 4. So finally, the youngsters have put a bit of pressure on her. Let's see what she comes up with. At 5-1, she's probably thinking to, well, number one, she has to be in the 8-foot circle, so she doesn't need to be anywhere near those center guards. At 5-1, she doesn't mind losing 2. So even if this is wide open, it's not a disaster, but it needs to be there. That's a big miss. I did wonder why she chose the other side of the sheet there. All the play on this end has been on the left side as we look, and not surprisingly that right side is probably just a little bit slower. And now from nowhere, Team Richards with a great chance to level the game at 5 each. Earlier in this end, we were talking about a good chance of 2. But here we go. With a perfect hit for 4. Team Richards are back in this game. It's 5-5 after 5.
Everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed, has led to this. It's out of your hands now. All the gold medals in the world can't help you now. You could throw the perfect rock and still miss, but it just takes one. You leave it all out there on the ice to leave behind a legacy.
Welcome back, if you've just joined us, to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. My name is Brian Gray and we're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton, Alberta. This is the opening round of games of the competition. It's 4 pools of 5 women's teams for a total purse of 25,000 Canadian dollars. Our feature game today is Kerri Einarson and her team from Gimli, Manitoba against Gracelyn Richards and her local team from Edmonton. And what a turnaround we've had in that fifth end. A couple of misses from Kerri Einarson, and it's put Richards back in the game with a beautifully scored 4. And we are 5-all after 5. Kerri struggled with the weight in that fifth end. She was a little bit long on the in-turn draw and then a little bit short on the out-turn draw. And the out-turn draw for sure was a little bit slower. Just caught her out a bit. Not many people would have expected her to miss that 8-foot draw, and it's opened the game up here. Team Richards will be feeling fantastic after that end, and will be playing with a new sense of confidence. As we see lead player Amy Wheatcroft being asked to play top of the button. Just to confirm, the score is 5-5. The graphic will update in a second. 5-5 after 5 ends. All games in this opening draw are now in the 6th end. I can give you the scores. Plett against Brown is 6-1 for Plett. Einarson Richards is our featured game, 5-5 after 5. Sturmey against Reese Hansen. Reese Hansen is winning by 5 points to 2. Caitlin Laws against Gray Withers. Laws leading by 5-3. And Anglo against Peterson. Anglo yet to score. Peterson leading 4 points to 0. Very nicely done by Team Richard's second player, Sofia Rurchuk. Giving Team Einarson something to think about now. Einarson with the hammer in the 6th end. Score is 5-5. As we see Kristen Karawaki being asked to come around this corner guard and maybe just a little bit of a chip on this yellow. So the key here is that Team Richards is lying second shot, so Gracelyn just asking her player to remove this red and roll left and split the rings. Set up a force of 1 in the 6th end. Nicely done by Sophia. There is probably a double there. Would like to roll another 2 feet to the left. Saville being asked to play out-turn double. Remove the stone near the center line and then roll over and kick the other yellow. Removed one, and we didn't see it, but I think she's just tapped the yellow a little, I'm not sure. So now it's not clear. It looks possibly like red's lying 2 right now, but there is a chance to perhaps not remove both reds, but certainly just to graze the back red and move it out of second shot position. As we see Emma, third player for Team Richards, trying to get as close to this red guard as she can. But unfortunately, it's just over curled on her. And now Team Einarson, Kerri is going to use that centre guard, which was accidentally placed by Team Richards right now. She's going to come round that. Probably full 8 foot to lie second and perhaps third shot. Looks to be just a little bit hot. But it's stopped in time nicely. And now, having just scored 4, Team Richards needs to be careful they don't lose 2 or 3 right back. I'm surprised she's not trying the double red on the right side. Does seem to be there. She could even roll in behind the center. That red at the back of the 4 foot needs to go as well, but I think first things first, you might want to consider the double red on the right side of the rings. Not clear who's third shot now, if it's yellow or red. So Gracelyn just choosing to remove this red, would like to roll perhaps a half a rock towards the center line to be behind the center guard. Try and narrow the house and narrow the scoring area. Would dearly like to give Einarson just 1 point in this end. So this needs to stay. Once again, just over curling a little bit. Seems to me that the majority of Emma's stones have just over curled on her a little bit, so maybe something to do with the release, or maybe just needs some more ice, but they'll need to tighten up on that in their next games if they want to be competitive here. As we see Val Sweeting with her third stone of this end, this time looking to be much closer to the center guard. Doesn't want to go deep and leave a triple. And that looks to be just better than the yellow. So lots of pressure here for Team Richards. It'd be great to see them try that double on the right side. Maybe even roll into the button area behind that red. A straight draw now is an aggressive call. They've just scored 4 points. Would be a little bit disappointing to score 4 and then lose 4 right back. Timeout called. Unlike you watching at home, I don't have the sound from the arena, but it looks like they're going to do something on this side. The nice thing about that red behind the yellow is if the yellow is better than that red, then basically 2 reds are out of play, so I'm not sure if they're playing weight at this or not. Ice would suggest either button draw or removing something. So Gracelyn Richards with her first stone off the 6th end, trying to find the button. Well, that's a pretty good result, actually. Still not clear who is second and third. Does appear to be yellow at the front now as third shot. Red at the back's maybe fourth, yellow at the side is fifth, and the red at the very back is sixth. But the good thing about that yellow is it's possibly removed the chance of a really big end for Kerri, which from the perspective of the Richards team is great news, because there's a real risk before she played that she was going to lose 3 or 4 right back. Now it's getting tough to score more than 2, I think. And that yellow gives her options. She could tap that yellow with her last one, even just half a rock to lie second shot, first shot. So it's given her a lot of options. And that's why Kerri's having a good think about this. My bet is red are lying 1 and 2, yellow is third on the centre line at the front, red at the back 8 on the left is fourth, and the yellow in the 8 foot is fifth. But 3 of those rocks are very, very close, so it's kind of hard for us to know exactly what's going on down there. Kerri Einarson with her first stone of the 6th end. Looking to come in full 8 foot, I would expect. A little bit shorter than that. Well, she's blocked the tap on the yellow, but there is a straight hit on the red at the side of the 4 foot. And anything other than nose, it would disappear behind that red guard that's just been played, and Team Richards could actually go into the lead here. Red lying first and second for sure. My money's on the front yellow. The yellow on the center line is third shot. So I think Richards just has to nose this red, and if she can ever get a little bit on the inside, she could end up stealing this end. Exactly, if she can just hit the red and roll somewhere there with her shooter, it's going to be really tough for Kerri to get in. There'll always be some sort of trick double for maybe 2 points. But this is the right call. She doesn't need the double anymore, she just needs to nose this red, or even slightly to the left would be giving her a real chance of a steal. How this game has turned around. So Gracelyn Richards with her last stone of this 6th end, tied at 5 each. She's trying to play a controlled takeout on the red at the edge of the 4 foot, and I would think just roll If she can, just even an inch to the left as we look. Nicely done. She would love to roll because theoretically Kerri could also roll off that yellow, removing 2 yellows as she goes. So Gracelyn would have loved just an inch roll to the left there. If Kerri can hit 4/5 of this stone, she doubles the yellow and she rolls into 4 foot. I think she gets 3. Two or 3. Kerri Einarson last stone at the 6th. It's under curled on her, so she's not going to get more than 2. Might just be 1. Yellow at the front looks better to me than the other red. Red 1 for sure. Possible measure for the second. Looks like just one red. But they're going to stick a measure on all 4 rocks, so possibly looks a little bit different when you're standing down there. So that's quite an eventful end. If Kerri walks away with 2 here, she'll be quite happy, but if it's only 1, it's a big turnaround, really. I don't have sound here, but the way that happened, it looks like it's only 1 red, but I might be wrong.
This is it. It all comes down to this rock. The hours in the gym, the weeks away from my family. This is what I've been training for. And all those voices trying to tear me down, I'm here to silence them. We've given everything we have for a chance to get everything we want.
I don't remember a time when curling wasn't a part of my life. When I wasn't putting in the sweat and hard work to be the best that I can be. Clocking in the time, the effort to practice day in, day out. Curling is more than just a game. It's a family, a community. And when it's time to play, I know I'll be ready. Hardline, supporting hundreds of our next generation athletes.
Welcome back. We're just trying to find out what happened in that sixth end. It was either 1 or 2 for Team Einarson. Hoping somebody's going to hang the score in a second. So welcome back to the seventh end of this increasingly exciting game between Team Einarson and Team Richards. We believe it was 1 in the sixth end, which gives Einarson a 6-5 lead as shown on the graphic. That's to be confirmed when they hang the score up. But now for the first time in this game, Richards has a real chance. She was trailing by 4 at one point, got a nice 4 in the fifth. And 1 it is, so all to play for in these last 2 ends. If you've just joined us, welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. My name is Brian Gray and we're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton, Alberta. This is the opening round of games of the competition. We have 4 pools of 5 women's teams and there's a men's event. And the total purse for the women is $25,000. And our featured game, Kerri Einarson and her team from Gimli, Manitoba, are up against Team Gracelyn Richards from Edmonton. And with that 1 in the sixth, this game has got quite a bit tighter than it has been. I'm looking forward now to 2 ends of aggressive play. As we see the lead stone from Amy Wheatcroft come nicely into the rings. And now the first stone from Team Einarson lead player Kristen Karwacki. Team Einarson playing with just 3 players, so Karwacki and Sweeting are both playing 3 rocks each. And this will be an interesting end. I mean, Richards, of course, would possibly love a blank end, but difficult to manufacture those when you need one with the 5 rock rule. So looking to remove this one at the back and possibly keeping the option of a blank open. As we see Amy Wheatcroft's second shot come down perfectly. And Team Richards are line 2. So Kerri Einarson asking Kristen to clear up here. Which is of course allowed because that's their guard. Otherwise that guard would have been protected by the 5 rock row. Nice enough result. That red on the left there, making the chance of a blank a little bit lower. And Richardson looks determined just to go in here, put some pressure on. Sophia just seems to have a little bit too much room at the moment, but it's going to just tuck in at the end. If Val can get very close to that red, I think the double's on. Team Richards might have wanted to just give that a couple of strokes of the brush at the end there just to take the double away. So a crucial shot here for Val Sweeting. Doesn't want to be on her own red. She'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Lots of options here for Team Richards. They could just double those reds, lie 3. They do have hammer, so throwing a center guard right now, always a little bit tricky when you get the hammer. If it just curls off at the end, then it leaves a double and then suddenly you're lying 3 against. So this is Sophia's second stone. Needs to get the line right, like I said, needs to touch that line. Good brushing. Just taking the double away, I think. With a very controlled weight, might still be possible just to remove both. Val will be keen to redeem herself with this one. Critical shot, really. Safely past the guard this time. No double at the moment. So Emma being asked to remove this red and just roll behind the center guard. They got off the sweeping there. Unfortunately, they've left a double. And now with so many reds in the rings, they could be forced, if this double's made. Could be forced. They could also be forced to take two. Still possible from here. So Val Sweeting with her third rock of the end. In turn double. Every stone really important now. Perfectly done. But still a good chance for Team Richards to get two here, because that red's kind of helping them. All to play for now. No point to freeze the red, I would say, at this stage. Need to stay in front of the rings. Work out later how you get your two, but you need to stay in front of the rings. If you go back T here, Kerri's just going to freeze on top of you, and you'll score a point. So Emma being asked to draw full top four, I'd expect, behind the centre guard. Not the desired result. It wouldn't have been so bad if that yellow was better than the other two reds. But now it basically serves as a centre guard. So it's the wrong kind of miss, I'm afraid. And Team Richards now need to work really hard just to score their one. So Kerri will be looking to make things as difficult as possible for her opponent. She would like to come around those two yellows, finish full four straight behind that yellow, so there's no double. So Kerri Einarson with her first stone in the seventh end. Yet another critical stone. Huge impact on the result of this game if she can get this where Val's brushes. We would fancy Team Einarson to steal one in this end. Well, it's just come up a little bit short, meaning that Gracelyn can still draw around those three stones, the guard and the two in the center line, and if she can get round there, maybe top of the button, at least she's not going to lose a steal. Getting two might be harder, but at least she will score, I think, if she gets top four here, top button. So Gracelyn with her first stone of the seventh, yet another keystone. Looking really nice if it's there. drop behind the tee line, so Kerri will try to follow that, and then Gracelyn will have a similar draw just for a 1 point. A little bit unlucky. 2 feet shorter, and she was looking good to score. Now it's anything is possible depending on the result of this next stone. Kerri will be looking to be shot position here. Pretty much on the button. Seems to have a lot of space at the moment. It's going to have to curl a good bit. That's taking a different line. Maybe just a little bit long, and it is. Could have given that a brush. It looks like a measure right now for shot, but anyway, she's going to hit and nose it for 2. And this would give her a 1 point lead. First time in the game she's led. Gracelyn. Gracelyn Richards with the last stone in the 7th. Controlled hit to score 2 and go 1 up. Perfectly done. So Team Richards now leading 7-6 as we go down the final end. See you in a minute.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
At the last end right now. Welcome back. We're in the final end of Team Einarson against Team Richards. Richards got a nice 2 in the 7th end to lead for the first time in this game. If you've just joined us, welcome to the 2024 Saville Shootout presented by Curling Stadium Edmonton. My name is Brian Gray and we're live from Sheet 2 at the Saville Community Sports Centre in Edmonton. This is the opening round of games of the competition. And we are down the last end. Kerri Einarson with hammer, trailing by 1. Amy Wheatcroft. With her last stone of this 8th end for her. Looking just to cover this yellow, or possibly come around the back of it, which she's done. As we see Kristen Karwacki. Team Einarson playing with 3 players. So Kristen and Val both playing with 3 stones each. Playing a nice controlled run on that yellow. Einarson was leading 5-1 in this game and lost 4 in the 5th end, as Richards tied up 5-5. Einarson then scored 1. Richards got a really nice 2 in the 7th. So here we are in the last end, with Einarson needing 2 for the victory. With Sophia, the second player in this Richards team, just being asked to chip out this red. Really important that leaves the rings, and it's going to hang around, so first blood to Einarson on this 8th end. She also has a nice corner guard there, so lots of chances for making 2 from here. Kristen with a pretty good result. Trying to get behind that corner, but pretty good there. Now Richard's team needs to find a way to get rid of that other red quickly, because that red is the key to the 2 points that Einarson's needs for this win. Even electing to remove it and just roll towards the center line, try and group the stones a little bit. Sophia needs a little bit of a curl here, but she's got it. But advantage Einarson here. Looking to split the rings, draw to the wide of 8 or 12 foot. Keep the chance of 2 alive. She's also got the corner guard, so she actually has lots of options here. Team Richards really hoping for an error now. An error or a double. As we see Val sweeting with her first of this end. Looking to draw probably side of the 8 foot, maybe back 4 sort of length. This stone needing a little bit of an encouragement. Just a yard shorter than they would have wanted, maybe 2 yards short, so the good thing from her perspective is there's no double possible here, so they're just going to remove this and try and roll towards the other red and hope for a double later. So Emma being asked, presumably an upweight hit 3/4, roll towards the other red, and give themselves a chance of a double with her next stone. Nice result. It's short position, so Team Einarson really need to deal with it anyway. Possibly have a chance to go behind the corner here, though. Val Sweeting with a more controlled weight in turn. Needs to curl a little bit more. She's going to nose it, so there's a chance of a double, I would think. And Emma's just played this line, so if she can tighten up a little bit, she needs about half of that red on the left for the double. Could possibly force this game into extra time. And that's a beautiful double takeout. As we mentioned before, still this corner guard, so still a good chance for Team Einarson to make their two. If Val can pop one round here in shot position. Looking really nice. It's just not quite finished at the end, so a chance now. If Gracelyn can remove this and even roll behind her yellow, she has a small chance of stealing the end. Priority number 1, remove the red. Priority number 2, stay in the 4-foot circle. Staying in the 4-foot circle means that if Team Einarson's draws around that red corner guard, they wouldn't be shot. So those are the 2 priorities. The 3rd priority would be, if you could, get a little bit behind your own yellow and really set up a small chance of a steal. She certainly does not want to go behind the corner guard here. So Gracelyn Richards with her first stone in this 8th end. Looking to chip this red on a controlled weight. And there it is. Very nicely done. Now Kerri has to try and manufacture 2 from here. Obviously she can roll left behind the yellow guard. Plan B, roll behind the corner guard. Kerri Einarson with her first in this 8th end. Little hit and chip. Needs to curl. Unlucky. So now Team Richards with their last stone. Really, Gracelyn can think of this as a shot to nothing. If she can ever get it behind that yellow guard, just makes scoring the 1 point that little bit harder. She'd love just to chip the red and go directly behind the yellow at the top of the house. Give her a small chance of a steal. So Gracelyn with her last stone of this 8th end. Took the safe option, just made sure she got it without ever touching the front yellow, so it gives Kerri Einarson a relatively easy 8-foot draw for an extra. So Kerri Einarson with the last stone on this 8th end. Anywhere in the 8-foot to tie the game 7-7. And it's come up short. Congratulations to Team Richards on a very well played game. They win by 9 points to 6. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the coverage here. Apologies for the technical issues at the start of the game, and we'll see you later.
Handcrafted in Canada, Hardline's Ice Band has revolutionized curling for over a decade. Engineered with top-tier precision and durability, it is backed by an unmatched 10-year warranty. Designed for curlers at all levels to sweep effortlessly with maximum efficiency, it is trusted by the world's best curlers, including Olympic and world champions. It is quite simply the best broom in the game. Hardline. Join the revolution.
What do you got? You got one, you got two, you got...
Just one more throw, please.
You make moments like these possible.